Hello and welcome to another episode of Battlestan Nation, the channel with three knuckleheads to tell you some of the things going on in K-pop today. So,
I'll admit it. I'm a knucklehead.
so, I'm the biggest knucklehead of us all. So,
I was gonna say it, but thank you.
But I don't know. Let's just get into the music videos, man. This first one, Purple Beck. When was their last comeback?
Oh, actually, off the top of my head, I don't know.
I want to say it was like early
been a
last
minute.
year or the year before. So, anyways, Purple Beck is a new group. So you know that Nick in his heart is already like a heart stand.
I am,
okay,
actually.
okay. Can I say something real quick? Jihu, that was the weirdest opening ever. I'm like, all right, I figured you'd say something a little bit more, and then suddenly, well, now we're just gonna talk about Purple Beck. I'm like, wait, hold on, what? At least give us more of a buffer than. Okay, now Purple Beck.
Well, because I see Nick over there, and he's like barely containing himself because he wants to talk about this so bad.
Look, man, I'm always like this when new groups come back. I can't handle it.
So, anyways, the music video is called VALENTi.
Oh, I thought it was called VALENTini. It shows how well I can. Shows how well I can do other languages. Okay.
So Aura's struggling.
Exactly.
Absolutely. So today's Aura struggle episode.
Hey, I'm only going off of 3 hours of sleep. Leave me alone.
Just get more sleep. You're in self-quarantine.
Or just get more coffee.
Dude, all gamers are 100% self-quarantine.
All
True.
right. So
Purple Beck's VALENTi came out today, actually. Well, today as of recording, which is March 21st. And it currently has a little under 7,000 views. That hurt to say.
So go.
All right.
If you have not watched it or have not heard of it, go watch it now. It has released.
Instant Purple
exactly. It just released March 21st, 22nd.
It released today, yeah. March 21st.
it is an interesting song. I will say that.
It is. When we were listening to it, it definitely gave us the throwback vibe, to say the least.
So one of the first things I thought of when I heard the song was like, this song would top the charts if it was released in 1999.
Oh, it would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it would be a smash hit. And I think a little bit of that is them reading the market right now a little bit, because the market is all over the place.
Yeah, there's a lot of so I noticed a lot of retro 80s throwbacks as well from like was it Day 6 the other year? Was it 2018? BB with her last comeback, John Park with his last comeback, and then now we're also getting some like 90s throwbacks as well.
Yep.
So
I think this is them reading the market very well. I definitely don't think that this was a misread on their part.
Yeah.
A thing that I do think they did not take into consideration though was how well the group could handle that kind of a concept.
What do you mean?
Because while the members' voices can definitely handle this kind of a song, because it's not a hard song vocally to handle, the members in themselves, the personalities that they have set for the group and the group's concept in general, don't exactly align.
Okay.
yeah, and because it was such a
It was a chill vibe song.
yeah.
And if you look in the video, the members were pretty much anything but.
They were having a lot of fun.
They were.
It was giving off that fresh, pure, fun type of visual concept.
It gave me thoughts of like the girl next door, kind of like you're on a date, playing around on a playground from time to time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it was pleasant to watch.
It was.
Nice. Plus it looked like they were actually having fun. So,
Can I also say, part of the way through this, I realized how well this was mixed.
So at first I was like, what's with this mixing? And then I had to readjust myself because it started off as kind of like New Jack Swing before going into like full on electro pop, like 90s style electro pop especially, and Yeah, because like for that, it requires a different kind of mixing style than you would with like New Jack Swing.
Yeah.
So because like the bass was like kind of at times overpowering the vocals, which you don't want to do with New Jack Swing, but for electropop, it's totally okay. Like because the vocals and the music go in line, right? They're like pretty much on the same level, I should say. So yeah, no, I once I had to readjust myself on that, I'm like, oh, this mixing is actually okay. Like it's fine. Like it's better done than like some of the other songs that we've had released. So
yeah. So, and I also think so in this song, they had a bridge, and that's where they cut all the instruments. But I feel like the rap break was more of a bridge than the actual bridge was.
I agree, because I actually forgot that there was a bridge.
Yeah, yeah. Like when they brought in the other instruments and that stuff, like after taking them out, I was like, oh, that was a bridge. But in my mind, I had already established that the rap break was essentially the bridge,
right?
Because it was a completely different flow from the actual song. But looking back on it, the rap break was too early to be a bridge. The song hadn't established a full set pace before the rap break actually came in. So they intended to use that as a second verse. And so I was like, in my opinion, I think the rap break would have been better had they moved it back a chorus or two.
Yeah, because when you scale back to the whole big picture of the song, it really does kind of break up the pace of the song in a jarring way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because you don't expect a rap in that type of a calming song.
Right.
And especially if they did like a chill vibe rap, where it was just kind of a slower flow, it wouldn't have been that bad. But the rap was very fast paced, which gave it that break that the song needed. Especially gave it the momentum to keep it going too.
So, my question for you guys is, for a Nugu group, right? I think we all agree that this is a pretty high quality song that you would expect from a Nugu group from a small company. What about in line with the market as a whole? When you include like the big three and whatnot, and like the other larger labels, how would it hold up compared to them in your eyes?
For me, I think this song would be if like let's say one of the big four did a song like this, it would not be the A track. It would definitely be a B track if they would.
I could definitely see like Red Velvet doing something like this for a B-side.
I got Twice B-side vibes from this song.
Twice?
Yeah.
Twice, was it? Because Red Velvet has such a wide like catalog of what they do for their B-sides as well. So Red Velvet's another one that I would think of.
Eyes One.
This is totally a nice one B-side.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah, this is definitely a nice one B-side.
Yeah. And you know, like don't get the label wrong. Like when we say B-sides, doesn't mean that it's like the B list of songs. Like this like a lower quality songs. Like no,
some songs I believe that the B-sides are far superior to the A track or the title track.
Yeah, a lot of times when you use the title track, the promoted track, or the A track, it's usually when you want to push a certain image, a certain sound to kind of represent what that album is. Or even to hype up the album, or to hype up the album, whichever song they think has the best chance of going, viral or whatever. So, yeah.
So I think overall I like the song. A few things I was interested in the video was one. I think the style that they did fit the song very well because it's more like home type video style.
Yes.
But also, it also helps because it cuts down costs for the company.
But it didn't feel cheap.
It didn't feel cheap. I mean, they still used high quality cameras. Yeah. Even in some shots, the members weren't actually holding the camera. They just made it look like they were.
Right.
So they still used high quality cameras and all of that. Which is really nice to see that they didn't cut unnecessary costs. They only cut the necessary ones,
In fact, it kind of reminds me of when Idol did Blow My Mind last year, because they did their music video set the same way in San Francisco.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, and it reminded me as well of EXID's Lady,
Okay.
where that was an 80s style, but they used the really bad frame rate, the really bad slow motion, stuff like that.
Yeah.
The overhead camera type stuff. So as far as that goes,
I mean,
80s or 90s.
I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed like a few small details in the music video, but there was like a record button, like graphics that.
Give it that
Yeah,
home video.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that with the camera that they used, that image wasn't there, but it, obviously they just put it in to add the effect, which was a nice touch, you know. I think that they could have gone low. To be honest, I think that they could have added effects to make it look a little bit of a lower quality to add to the effect.
Yeah.
It could have enhanced the experience. This is
more
this is
immersive.
probably one of the few times I would say they should have gone lower quality for the
In fact,
images.
just like with Elris with Miss You, because they did the same
Right.
thing too, and they actually played around with the visual quality to give it that representation of older film
Exactly.
style.
Yeah.
So,
Another thing that I saw in the comments for this, that a lot of people are concerned about, is they want to know when this video was shot,
Right.
because they're outside having fun. The current situation doesn't call for
Right.
that, you know.
right.
And so a lot of people are asking, you know, when was this shot? Like, I mean, they're outside, you know, they're not protected.
Yeah.
So I would say that it was shot before then, because when you see the passerbys, there's not a lot of people wearing masks.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Looks like it'd be early fall, to be honest, if you look at the setting.
yeah.
Right. But in that, like, I would like to see somewhat of an official, like, it doesn't need to be like a hardcore official statement.
Right.
Right.
Like, even some of the members saying like, oh yeah, this MV was shot in October, you know,
yeah.
something along those lines, because a lot of fans right now are very worried.
Yeah. I mean,
As
yeah.
they should
which
be.
is understandable. It's, and it's great that they are concerned.
Yeah.
It shows a lot of
I
love.
think definitely. Yeah, I think definitely the fans are concerned in a very respectable manner. You know, they're not calling for like persecution of the company or anything
Right.
like that.
Oh my god, yeah, because some other people can get really knee jerk on that.
Yeah, they really can. So I think definitely they are doing this in a very respectful way. Like, and even if we don't get anything on official or a statement about it, you know, it's just hope at that point.
I mean,
Yeah.
now that you,
It's just hoping that it's.
I mean, now that you bring that up, considering the situation we are in now, the world is in right now, I have a feeling in a few months we're just going to have a lot of dead spots in music.
in
Production schedules.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
music videos.
Probably.
Because if they can't film anything for 6-7 months, they can't edit anything. If everybody is,
Or we'll just see a lot more indoors indoor music videos.
Yeah, that could be a thing too.
I would
honestly.
love that.
And honestly, with green screen technology, there are ways to make it so that it looks like you're legitimately outside.
Or like set to like a Blue D's music video where it's just her by herself in that one set.
Yes.
Where they change all the stuff around. Yeah. So
that would be actually pretty interesting. So, any companies listening and watching our stuff, take this, hire us on remotely, because we got to get on this self-quarantine thing, make sure everyone is safe, but hire us so we can get you some ideas.
So Nick, you were saying?
So, I just want to know if you guys are about ready to move
Yeah.
on.
So real quick, one quick question. How they started with New Jack Swing. How would you feel if they had stayed, or if they released another track in New Jack Swing?
I'd be open to it, honestly.
I think because I found myself actually starting to get into it, into that part. Like, wow. And when they transitioned over, I'm like, well, this isn't bad, but I'll set up for New Jack Swing, and now I kind of want to get some New Jack Swing in me.
Yeah, I think definitely for people that are much more like you, for fans that are much more like open to New Jack Swing. Like as we know, I'm not really into that kind of genre scale.
Which because it goes into that family of what was it, soul, R&B,
soul,
jazz.
R&B. R&B I'm a little more open to. It's just like that jazz type, you know, kind of area that I'm not really that into.
Right.
So I'd be open to New Jack Swing. When it did shift into like that electro pop swing, I was a lot more open to it because I was like, this is something that I could get along with. You know?
I like the fusion of it.
Which-
I like the fusion of it.
Yeah.
I think a genre fusion was what really needed to happen in this song.
Well, I mean, New Jack Swing itself is a genre fusion of hip hop, jazz,
Yeah.
R&B.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had. So
Yeah. All right, let's go.
okay, so how do you pronounce this name?
Dua Lipa.
Okay, I've heard of her. I've seen her name around. I've never listened to her music, so this is actually the first I've heard of her stuff.
I'm in a podcast with boomers.
Hey! Hold on.
Okay, you're the most of a boomer than anything else. You're Han Dynasty. Get out of here. I'm feisty today.
Considering I know who Dua Lipa is, and
Remember, I don't pay attention to Western music, so
That's true. I'll forgive Jihoon. So
okay.
anyway,
So
Dua
did-
Lipa.
she did a collab with MAMAMOO Hwasa.
Yep.
Called Physical.
And it served. So,
Yeah.
this came out March 17th. Currently has about 1.4 million views.
Didn't it release originally as her doing it solo and then release it again?
Yes.
I think
Okay.
so, yeah.
Yes. So she did have a music video of just Dua Lipa herself. The music video did get quite a few million of views. So I forgot how many,
Yeah.
but
And I mean, honestly, I think for this type of a song, and for the vocals it required, I think there is no better choice than Hwasa.
yes, she definitely has a vocal timbre for it.
I think quite literally, like, there is no singular artist inside of K-pop that is better for this song.
Right. It complemented its like Dua Lipa's voice so well. It almost felt like it was one person singing.
Exactly.
Definitely, because Hwasa has this very like 50-50 air, 50% air, 50% vocal vibe when she sings. She sings with a lot of air in her voice, but that also gives it a more ethereal vibe.
Yes, especially with that
And-
certain amount of coarseness that she has in her
Yeah.
voice.
And because there's also a lot of her tone shows through.
Yeah.
You know, like when she's speaking and when she's singing, you hear that tone.
Absolutely.
And so that's why I think there's seriously no better person than Hwasa for this song. She provides the exact counterpoint to Dua Lipa that Dua Lipa needed.
It was great.
As well as like the counterpoint to the musical accompaniment as well.
It's just because the music accompaniment was so sharp. It was a sharp
Yes.
hitting song.
a lot of weight. Like the song itself is a lot of rhythm, a lot of texture, and as typical, like not a lot of melody. But it was different, or I should say different from what I'm
So,
hearing.
I'm going to ask this of Jihoon because since he's not a fan of American pop, did you like the song? No.
Not really. It's just not my style. For the vocals, it was more interesting to talk about the vocals
Right.
than it was to talk about the nuances of the
Yeah.
vocals. But in the scope of the song, I just found myself disengaged. I had a hard time staying with the song. So it was definitely something that.
Yeah.
Again, I keep it to the background and do
Right.
something else. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's right now. That's really how American music is designed.
Yeah.
It's designed to be played in the background.
Yes,
You know,
because
it's not
Americans are the among the most what's it called?
Passive listener.
Distracted.
Yeah.
Distracted.
We're very passive
societies.
listeners. You know, we would rather do something else and listen to music at the same time. Music is very
Exactly.
much a background for us.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
so when it comes to when you have active listeners of music, people that rather just sit down and listen to music, that's why you find that a lot of those active listeners don't listen to today's pop.
Yeah, they migrate to other genres.
There's a lot of people that listen to classical
or rock. Rock is still alive.
It is such
particularly for like classical rock too.
So you'll hear a lot of classical, you hear a lot of rock. Obviously, us three, we're all active listeners, so we naturally gravitated towards K-pop instead.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as that goes,
I've also been getting a resurgence into classical American rock as well. I've been listening to a lot of those covers as well lately. So yeah.
I mean, so as far as the song, I think it's perfect for background music. I think it is exactly done the way that it needs to be. Yeah. For an American pop song.
Yeah.
Because actively listening to this song, you definitely see where it lacks. Now, this isn't to gripe on Dua Lipa and her talents. She is
for an American pop artist, she's doing exactly.
Yeah, it is absolutely great. But where it lacks is to draw you in, to make you actively want to go. Yeah. Where's my light stick? My light stick?
So on the other hand, right, that is kind of one of my problems with like K-pop. When I'm at work, right, and I have like some K-pop playing in the background, I'll get distracted. I'll get so distracted from doing my actual work. I'm just like, whoa, hold up, everything right now. I have to drop everything because this is my part of the song. I need to stop and listen to this. Yep. I can't push it to the background.
I usually don't listen to K-pop inside, like when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Simply because that is the exact reason. Like I'll miss I'll miss something that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'll just be like, why did I choose to listen to K-pop? Instead I'll go listen to R&B, or I'll go listen to rap or something else.
Yeah. Or I'll put on a podcast or something. So man, I can't be productive with K-pop.
You have to choose.
Yeah.
I also really like how well their voices blended together.
It's like Aura said, it almost sounded like one person singing.
A little bit. And even it literally, they blended it so well because you'll notice after Hwasa's initial verse, when she goes into the second part of her verse, she changes vocal style and she sings with a lot more voice. And that's purely to transition.
And it was a good one.
And it was an amazing transition. And then eventually Dua Lipa will transition back to her natural voice.
And it definitely felt like they sang with one heart.
Yeah. Something
and that's like the apex of a duet is when it sounds like they sing with one heart.
Yeah. I mean, to go along with that, it was nice not having them basically where it didn't feel like Hwasa was just a background singer. Because
I felt like she was really a part of the song.
There have been a lot of times where artists who do collabs like this or featuring like this, it feels like they do get put in the background. I think it was done once before with Blackpink, but it also felt like it was done like this for a couple of BTS songs too, where the artists that came in for BTS's song felt like very much background singers, and instead of being paired with BTS. I mean, it's obviously not. I'm not saying it's BTS's fault. I'm not saying it's the other artists who did it's fault. It could have just been how the writers or composers wanted to, or even the companies themselves wanted the songs, and it was just made to an unfortunate event where people ended up as the background singer when they should have been collabing. But with this song, it very much felt like it was a duet kind of partners thing, and I'd say if more artists did it like this from both American pop and K-pop side, or any other song, I think it would allow a bigger range of collabs. And
You mean like people would be more open to doing collabs together?
Because nobody wants to play second fiddle and just be a background singer to someone that they're equals with, you know?
Right. Which, by the way, that phrase is so appropriate for for what we talk about, you know, playing second fiddle.
I think that just went over my head because
wait. It's a musical.
Oh, I get it.
So, I think we pretty much exhausted that topic, huh? So,
Yeah.
it's about time to move on.
It's about time to move on.
All right. So, Gugudan member Sejeong, she was also from Produce 101 finalist. IOI.
Yeah.
She had her solo release with Plant.
What?
Is this her solo debut? Or is it just...
I think she's had
already
a
debut.
couple of solos before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to say it was like late last year, like not that long ago. I might be mistaken. I probably am mistaken a lot. So
If we're mistaken, forgive us. We listen to a lot of K-pop.
It's
yeah, like
Very
2019
high volume consumers.
has really blended into 2018 and 2020. Like it just
Yeah. It's very hard to tell where 2019 stops at this point.
Yeah.
Because it still kind of feels like we're in 2019 for K-pop.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm in 2013. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
So Sejeong, she released Plant. It's a ballad, and you always see a lot of the same things when we talk about ballads. And I think for this song, we'll probably end up talking more about the video itself. But just to touch on the song itself, I think she's got the vocals to. She does have the vocal abilities to kind of to really stand out for these type of songs, and to kind of draw you in. Not quite as much of an experience as say Insuni, where she's got such that heavy voice, right? That really sets the stage and pulls you in. Or Hwin, where she's able to fill a whole stage by herself.
Right.
But for this type of song, it doesn't really call for that kind of vocals either, because it's a more kind of delicate kind of song.
So a thing that gets often mistaken in ballads is a lot of people think ballads are very, very easy to sing. Because they're slower, they usually stay on a similar pitch range, stuff like that. And ballads take a lot of finesse to not ruin the song.
Absolutely.
For example, and this is not saying they can't do it, it's just an example. For example, somebody like Yuju from G-Friend would have a harder time singing a ballad, because her voice will bring that weight down on that ballad.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side, someone like Sejeong or someone like Eunha from G-Friend will have a much easier time singing it, because their voices are lighter, more
wispy, especially Eunha.
Yep. And on top of that, Sejeong shows perfectly her vocal control, because you have to control your voice a lot on a ballad. If you don't have the vocal control, and especially vibrato control,
sustained especially,
because there will be times where a song will call for vibrato for 4 or 5 seconds, and vibrato that long is really difficult.
It's a really long time.
It is a serious long time to be able to modulate your voice like that. And you'll hear a lot in Sejeong's song here that instead of choosing a long vibrato, she chooses a short vibrato and then a fall off.
Right. Well,
and that makes it more impactful to the person in a song like this. If it was a power ballad, you would have to choose long vibrato. But you don't need to do that here. And show her singing this way shows that she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, and another thing that I like too, with the way they mixed this song, in post-production, they didn't remove when she inhales. You can hear the inhaling, and for a lot of songs, you don't you don't want that, they'll edit out, especially for like the popular type of songs. They'll either edit out entirely or let it get overridden by like the musical accompaniment.
Right.
For a song like this, because these type of songs are usually supposed to be immersive and kind of draw you in, hearing that breathing in, it gives it a more organic feel and makes it more immersive.
Yeah.
Like you're actually like there with her in that room.
Yeah, it seriously sounds like you are listening to her sing just inside of a room.
And it makes it feel more intimate. Like she's singing the song to you.
Right.
So.
I think definitely pretty much everything they did in this song, there was no better way to do it.
Yeah, I think it was all spot on.
I think they've really maximized the effect of this song. Especially the inside of the MV. I'm sure it won't be in there in the actual song, but inside of the MV, you know, they had that break before the song came back in.
Oh yeah.
And that provided a lot of air. Like it gave you a second to breathe, you know?
Exactly.
And then they brought it in on a crescendo, right? So they brought it in slowly.
Which yeah. That like when you said, I'm so glad you brought that up, because like crescendo, I love. That is something I really love, especially for ballads. Because from the somewhat somber start of the song, and just the way it picks up, and it just feels kind of, it's really uplifting, you know. And especially with when you've been brought into that world, you know, she brings you into her world, you're immersed in it, you know, you're following her through with it, and then you hit to that point, and it just brings you up, and when the song concludes, you just feel like, you know, you just feel refreshed. I love it.
Yep. So, or the MV, with the very like, you know, kind of RV feel that they went, because it's all shot in an RV.
Mm-hmm.
Did the absence of just like open room do anything to the feel?
I mean, yes,
because it looks extremely cramped, as an RV would be.
Yeah, it does. Well, so there's many ways that they could have done it. It might not, like what we see might have been cramped, but what may have been reality might have been they had half an RV and just stuck it in the half RV and recorded from the side. They could have done that,
right?
And that would have freed up a lot of room.
Because I noticed they also added more stuff in there to give it a feel of more lived in.
Yeah, you took the words out of my mouth. Yeah.
More lived in, but also it makes it feel like it makes it feel more like more constricted.
Yeah. And that could have very well went with what the theme of the music video was, like plants, if they're in, because when it comes to this music video, when it comes to this song, I've definitely felt like it was a song about growing in a constrained place and kind of being limited, and you could tell in that MV with how the plants were, how everything was arranged, everything was in that tight space.
And especially when you transition over to like that when you get to that wide open space, when you got that pile, right? And that's at that point is where the song starts getting more uplifting.
Because
you can kind of feel like that freedom.
But no, because it was such a small space, it definitely put more constraints on the camera work too. Because if they use like half an RV, that'd be a weird kind of thing. It's a half MV. They would have to like limit as much of the background set as possible.
Right.
But if they recorded with just like one other person in that cramped RV, that would have sucked too.
Oh man!
Because imagine trying to fit all the like audio equipment, all the video equipment in there. That stuff does not fit in an RV that small. So they would have actually had half an RV and filmed it extremely super close to so as not to get the sides. And that takes a lot of work and talent. So I actually have to really applaud the camera work people to make such a beautiful work in a limited space, and Sejeong for being in that small space.
They did such a good job with the lighting too.
Yeah.
The warmth of the lighting, the angle of the lighting, like it even feels like it's the sun's about to set. It's that warmth that it gives to the whole picture. It all felt really really well put together. I love the video. So.
I also really like the choice of not applying a film over the MV.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot in ballads that they'll apply basically a film over the MV, whether it's green, red, blue, whatever, to fit the song, because it'll give it a tone. I like the choice to not. I mean, they did in a few. They did a kind of a yellow tint to everything,
right?
But for the majority of it, there's no film applied. It's just as it is.
It's really surprising because when I first listened to it, I kind of expected that they were going to go mostly yellow. So that's interesting that you noticed that they did apply yellow, because some people don't notice that. But
because the first artist I think of was like Mia, Insta Lover. She had that pink hue over it. Her follow-up video had like a kind of like a bluish tint to it. So
go watch that video, by the way.
Please, she deserves a lot more.
Such
views.
a good song.
So. Go watch them. Go watch all of these, and go watch more. Be a multi. Be a multi.
Be a multi.
Absolutely.
So, I was gonna lead this into a joke, but I just decided to continue. So,
do it. No. Do it. Do it.
Say it.
So I was gonna say, I'm sure there's 100 different things that we could talk about Sejeong Clan, and I'm sure we could talk about it 100 different ways.
Okay, I did not think you were going to do with this kind of joke. I hate you.
But Jackson has a lot more to say than we do with his song 100 Ways.
I hate you.
Oh, I love it.
I hate you.
I love it.
I've been thinking about that since Purple. All right.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. You make me proud.
Oh, you guys are in your dad jokes. You and your dad jokes.
All right. So let's talk about the song first. Because I got a few things to say about the video as well. The song, I liked it. I did like it. I thought the texture was very interesting.
It felt different from his other releases.
But it felt different from his other releases, but it also kind of felt back in line with what Gotsubin also released as well. So kind of brings it back to like their Lullaby era.
Yeah,
like a good middle ground.
I'm not gonna lie, with the obviously the historic Chinese intro, right? I was fully expecting the song was going to be fully Chinese, especially after okay, Papillon, I was like, okay, but when it actually came out, I heard it was in full English. I was like, hello,
yeah.
And I mean, this is the ability that he has as an artist, because he speaks 3 languages fluently.
Which is not fair, by the way. It is not fair.
That's absolutely not fair. I struggle to speak 2.
I struggle to speak 1.
What Jihoon needs?
Which one you pick? Yeah, you pick which language I struggle to speak it. So.
It all equates to 1 eventually.
Yeah, true. But like, this is the beauty he has of being trilingual, right? Because he has that, he can speak Chinese, he can, and Canto as well. He can speak Mandarin and Canto. He can speak.
Not fair.
He can speak Korean and he
Not
can
fair.
speak English, and and so, I mean, basically 4 languages at that point. So I mean, that is the beauty that he has as an artist, because it keeps us guessing, right? Because it's like, I was like, okay, is this gonna be Chinese, Korean, or English? And up until the point that he actually started, singing, I was like, I seriously don't know. It could be anything.
I mean, with how Korean K-pop songs are, where they sprinkle both like Korean and English, it could have gone either way. So, yeah. If he had all four, I would have been like, yeah, thanks for making, thanks for showing the rest of us up, okay?
I will say one thing I noticed was he did take a very Americanized approach to this song.
Yeah.
Yes.
In terms of dynamics and soundstage. Because if you look at the melody, for example, it's an American pop melody.
Yeah.
Through and through. I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah. And where he does keep it kind of fresher, I would say, is, or not him per se, but he also has a hand in it, vocal style, right? Especially with his timbre, but also like some of the effects used in the musical accompaniment as well. So that does keep it a bit more fresh. I mean, because especially when we talk about like, going back to Dua Lipa and Hwasa, like that song, the musical accompaniment didn't really have a whole lot going as far as like effects, playing around with the dynamics, right? So they did do a bit more here. So
yeah, and I think that definitely gave it a lot of variation, because the like we talked about, the melody is rather American, and the vocal dynamics are rather American. There's not a whole lot of crescendo, and
no, not at all.
And the chorus is basically repetition.
Yeah. I mean, it was a nice change of pace considering everything else that was released this week. I felt like this song was a bit faster paced than all the slower songs that were released.
I will say one thing I found very interesting was inside of the chorus, that synth that was used after he was done singing the chorus. That really high-pitched synth. Because it's a synth, but it's also I think it's a vocal. It's really hard to tell because they've really I can't say butchered, but they've really synthesized whatever it is.
Right.
And
it's almost unrecognizable.
It is unrecognizable. It is such an ambiguous sound now. And that's, I think, very interesting, because usually you want to clear cut, this is an instrument, and then you put everything else that isn't one of those into synths categories. But this is even hard to put in a synth because it has a very acoustic vibe.
I'm gonna laugh if it's just a kazoo.
No way.
An extremely it's an extremely synthesized kazoo put into the song, I will.
If they can make a kazoo sound that way, I will buy 5 albums.
So
Because,
Jackson,
no.
if you are watching this, you see this, please tell us if it's a kazoo or not. Because I 100% want it to be a kazoo, so he will buy the albums.
No way. But anyway, so as far as 100 Ways goes inside of a song, I think if they were trying to achieve this kind of mashup between a very Chinese instrumentation, but a rather American song, I think they achieved that really well.
Yeah, and especially considering my more positive reception of the song, I think they definitely get that a lot more interesting and still fresh, especially with that instrumentation too.
I mean, and also this is it. With this song, really just personifies who Jackson is, because he's talked about a lot how people ask him all the time, do you identify more American? Do you identify more Chinese? More Korean? What is it? And he's like, I should identify as me, dog.
Yeah.
Jackson is Jackson.
Oh.
Jackson is Jackson.
He's himself, but he lives in different worlds.
Yeah.
He is just himself.
So as far as that situation goes, this is very much who Jackson is. And I think this song really personifies him very well. But even aside from that, I mean, putting out these songs as well as GOT7 is a really hard thing to do.
Yeah.
Especially because he's kept consistent with his personal music.
Right.
Now, and not throwing shade, but if you were in the situation as Amber with FX, it's a bit on the easier side to manage because FX wasn't really doing anything in terms of their group activities for quite a while.
Thanks for that, SM.
But with GOT7 still being active, and still has to keep up with their fan base and all that, it's very interesting to see that he's like still able to completely manage that.
Yep. So talk a bit about the video. What do you think?
Okay, so the first scene, I was thinking, oh god, ninjas everywhere. Again, anime reference, Naruto, whatever. No, I thought that it was really good. You could definitely tell it was done in a studio setting. With how everything was set up, it definitely felt like one of those really old Eastern Asian movies where instead of being like out in the field, they'd be set up in a studio
inside of a
with and the background would be like a white wall and not a green screen or anything, and the lighting would be what used to say, okay, this is the time of day it is, this is what this is, this is what this is. So it makes me suspect that it was done sometime after everyone started going into quarantine. Because this, if it wasn't for the quarantine, this could have easily been done outside and I'll give a better effect, but I'm suspecting it was done inside to give that effect. And I think it was done because they did it this way. It gave it a more interesting take, and I honestly liked it. Because by doing it in a studio, you get more control. Sometimes it does look fake, depending on how you're supposed to do it. But sometimes that fake corniness makes things better. Like I still love those really old, like Japanese samurai movies that do this exact same thing.
But and so taking all that into context, I did feel like it was kind of cheesy. Yeah. Right. Which it wasn't because of all the mystic shamanism that they were doing with the hand signs and whatnot, or the the costumes. Like no, it wasn't because of that. It actually, for me, it goes to the more technical because like when I say color profile, I'm not talking about the colors used under for the costumes or the colors used for lighting or whatever. I'm talking about like the actual color profile assigned to the like the digital video. So they could have mitigated a lot of what you're talking about with not sitting outside, and also to kind of give it more of an immersive feel if they kind of played with the color tones in post-production, kind of give it a more rustic feel. Maybe not so much of a clear what's it called, the sharp, not go so heavy on the sharpening filter. Maybe actually kind of give it more of a filmic look. Add some film grain. Right. So to add to like that rustic feel. So that was really like my only real almost, I don't know, complaint. Not real complaint. It's just the thing I'd say I would have done differently if I was done the video myself. So. But because just like you said, right, it definitely does feel like it was filmed on a set, or even like on a theater stage. So in a way, that kind of breaks that immersive feel, that suspension of disbelief.
I think that was the point of it, though. I think that was the point of it. Was that it was supposed to break that kind of belief thing, and if that was the case. I mean, I'm not the director. I'm not Jackson. I don't know what they were exactly going for. But if they were going to break that like view and just go full ham on the cheesiness, like I say, go full.
And then they nailed it.
If it was just to go ham on the cheesiness, go ham on the cheesiness. Give us some cheesy ham right there.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, I liked it. You know, I think, like we talked about before, it's more of a passive listening song for me.
Definitely a passive listening song.
You know, it's not a song that I could just sit down and listen to. It's not a song that like would really engage me a whole lot.
Yeah.
But that being said, I did like it. It will go on my playlist. So
For me, it still had enough that kind of would draw me in, because like I would catch myself like starting to get distracted, getting pulled away from the song. Like, here, let me go look up something on the news real quick. But then at some point in the song, it would just pull me back in. I'm like, nope, I got you.
I got you.
Yeah. I think they did a good job with that. So, I already got not much else to say about that.
I mean, it was good. They did go really heavy on the red though. The red lighting, the reddish lighting, sunset lighting. I don't know. But it definitely gave off that really old, timely battle at the sunset or battle at dawn kind of thing. Like,
yeah. All right. So, are we ready to move it on to our song of the week?
yeah.
I think we are.
So, go for it, Aura.
So basically, you guys are basically using me as a buffer from now on when you can't decide, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I
right.
hate you guys so much. Jackson's 100 ways.
Which is a perfectly good decision. So, what you, Nick?
Well.
Oh wait, no. I'm gonna go you because I feel like once I hear what you're gonna say, I'm gonna choose something else. So
Okay, yeah, you go first.
Considering
So-
Jihoon's easily influenced by Nick.
well, because like I feel like I have to pick something else if I'm about to pick the same thing as him. for
Well,
some reason.
considering that from the last few episodes, whenever Nick picks first, you go, "Oh, I have to change my idea or my choice."
Yeah.
Yeah, you go first.
All right. So I was gonna say we didn't talk about it, but Yun Down with Stick on Shoulder. But I want to go with Purple Beck's VALENTi.
Okay.
Fair enough. So, I'm sure everyone here is thinking I'm going to go with Purple X VALENTi. They're wrong. Because mine is actually A-Train's Things We Left in the Fire. Which we didn't talk about this week, but definitely have to go listen to that. That also brings us up into our quick shots, because our first quick shot is talking about that song. So, A-Train did a collab with Budong, and they made Things We Left in the Fire. Actually, I didn't intend for that, Aura. I'm sorry. But it was a great segue anyway.
Yeah.
And so they made Things We Left in the Fire. It's a great song. It came out March 20th. Currently has 1,400 views. So definitely go watch that. Give it some love.
What's the
Definitely my
real
favorite
quick?
song.
What's the concept of the song and what's the style and genre?
So that's a bit hard to explain. He's very. It's hard to explain. It's very. I would call it an R&B ballad.
Okay.
Because it is slower than an R&B song would normally be, but it's still a little more upbeat for a ballad. It has a lot of soul influence, which I'm not usually a fan of.
So when you say that, it makes me think of Alicia Keys, like 2003, around that time frame. Does it sound something like that?
Except with a vibe more along the lines of Ryusua.
Oh man! All right. I'm already.
It's a very natural vibe, but without. It doesn't have a lot of acoustic instruments.
Okay.
So.
Oh yeah, it's R&B. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much R&B. Think about like R&B soul Ryusua. Yeah.
Okay. I like it. I'm gonna have to check that out now. So.
Where it is definitely a chill vibe song. It's a song that you really have to sit down and analyze almost.
Okay.
So that is A-Train Budong's Things We Left in the Fire.
All right. Now for my quick shot, I also mentioned it, and we were talking about our song of the week. Yun with Sleep on Shoulder. This is definitely a jazz style song with live instrumentation. Amazing. I love like all the strings. So definitely if you love jazz, R&B, soul, that family of music, you should definitely check it out. I loved it. So, and it's got a pleasant music video to go with it. Very romantic.
Time for me.
On to you. Right?
So this one does not have to do with my pick of the week. Starship has released some teaser photos for their upcoming boy group, LiQWYD. Now with LiQWYD, they've already released a logo. I still do not know the members' names. But then again, as I've stated before, I am terrible with people names. I suck with them. And Nick is probably looking them up to show me up.
Because I was about to say, if you watch PDX 101, you should recognize a couple of the members.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I remember a few of them from PDX 101.
I recognize the faces, but the names always get me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe Jihoon.
All right. So, speaking of gravity, so
oh no,
this is actually announced a couple weeks ago. So we're a bit late on this, but
oh, was it?
The newly debuted group Crazy announced their fandom name. It's called Gravities.
Wait, so this was announced a few weeks ago?
Like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this definitely flew over my head.
That was also similarly around the same time that Starship's Gravity was announced.
Unlucky.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, we wish both groups the best of luck in that naming situation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm hoping nothing bad comes from this naming situation.
Nah.
It'll
be fun.
if anything, I hope like something cute and funny happens.
Yeah,
from
that'd be
this,
great.
A fun interaction between Crazy and Gravity.
It'll be also interesting what Gravity names their group or their fandom now.
Oh my god, yeah.
I hope they don't name them Gravities.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a mess if they do.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if they named them Crazies.
Crazy?
Crazies?
It's a collab all along.
That'd be great. Actually, that'd be awesome. So, on to you.
So,
Aura.
Back to me. Okay. Okay, so this is some good news from all the weird, awkward newses that we've been talking about. Former Nine Muses member Sunga. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. I'm not 100% good on this, but she just recently gave birth. I don't know what the exact date was, but she just recently gave birth to her first child, and congrats to her and her husband. Like, you'll bring new life to this world, just like how JYP did last week or the week before. Depending on whenever this came out, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So, congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you. And yeah,
So, back to you, Nick.
Well, alright. So, Kara is making news, which I'm sure everyone that knows Kara has just spit out their tea. Step has reached 100 million views on YouTube. This is their first ever MV to hit 100 million views.
When did that music video debut?
Step was first released September 6th, 2011.
It took a while, but it got there.
Meaning that it took 8 years, 6 months, and 11 days to achieve that.
Hey.
Well, congratulations to Kara.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much else to say on that. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, and not trying to downplay that achievement, because there's so many other groups that never ever get that with their music videos. So the fact that they got it, whether it be in a day, like Blackpink does, or in less than under 9 years, like Kara just did.
I mean,
still, congratulations.
It is definitely still an accomplishment for a group.
the group and the fandom. You know, the fandom definitely put in the work to put this song on the map. And
yeah, especially when you see like the comments too, because like the comments on that video, like you still see like over the course of the years, people are commenting like 2018, 2017.
I commented last year.
Yeah, and I mean on top of that as well, you know, Kara is a lot of people's introduction groups to K-pop.
Yeah, especially in Japan, because they're huge.
Especially in Japan. And so, you know, Kara, just the same as 21, just the same as BTS, you know, every group impacts somebody, you know? It's somebody got into K-pop because of Kara.
Yep.
And so, for those people there, I'm sure they're especially happy. So, with that, should we start our wrap-up?
Take it away.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. This has been Idol Stand Nation. I'm Nick, that's Aura, and that's Jihoon. And we will see you in the next one. Make sure you like, comment,
stay
subscribe.
healthy.
Click that bell icon if you want to definitely stay healthy. Make sure you click that bell icon if you want to see more from us in the future as soon as we upload. We have a Twitter. Go follow our Twitter. And so that's where we post all of our episodes as well. So thank you for watching. We will see you later.
Bye. Practice social distancing.